That's not what I wanted to do. Anyway, so hello everyone. It is me once again, and today we are on part 3 of Coffee Talk. Yeah. So last week we managed to meet, I think, most of our old customers from last game. Yeah, I think we met everyone from the last game except Freya. But I mean, they did say that Freya is off on a what do you call it? Sabbatical. There we go, a sabbatical to write her new book. So we probably won't see her, I guess. I don't know. But anyway, we are like halfway through the game, so let's just jump straight right into it. Jump right straight into it. There we go. Yes. Somehow I feel like it's going to be a long night, or not. Who are we getting? Hey, it's Gala. Good evening. Hey, Tasso. How are you? Not too shabby, I hope. It's still raining. It's been raining the whole time. Everything is just fine. You sure? Positive. How about you, sir? How's work? My shift is over, so I'm free now. Nice. That reminds me, Mr. Hyde was here just the other day. Ah, that's right. Thanks for giving him the key card, by the way. Good call. You saved me $100. Not that wait, what? A replacement key would have cost me at least that much, with the fines and everything. Oof, pricey. Glad Mr. Hyde was around to help then. Yeah. I didn't think he'd be in Seattle, to be honest. Oh, but didn't you call him for a spare key? I did. So... let's just say I had a hunch. There's a pattern to his visits, even if he isn't aware of it. He'll fly whenever he gets tired of something. Could be about work, life, or simply because he's bored, like with LA recently, or so he says. I see. Never knew he liked Seattle that much. Or there's something that keeps him coming back here. Really? What is it? Take a guess. Huh. Well, if I have to guess... maybe you? Me? I mean, the two of you are very close. And good bonds are hard to come by these days. I see. Well, he's not someone who's big on attachments. Or so he claims. Is that right? Who knows, maybe that's changing. Because the answer is more or less your coffee shop here. Really? There aren't a lot of places with a good crowd and a warm atmosphere. With an excellent host to boot. And as you just said, good bonds are hard to come by. What's not to like? It would truly be an honor if he felt that way. Did he tell you the reason for his visit? Yeah, he's moving back here, right? Or at least that's the plan. Yes, what a nice surprise. He told me he's got a few things to discuss on that. Well, it's part of why I'm here tonight. Aside from getting myself a hot drink, that is. On that note, I'm so ready to take your order. Much obliged. So Henry told me about this Indonesian ginger drink. It has milk, honey, and a couple of other stuff in it. I think it's called STMJ. I'll have a cup of that. Oh, how do you make that? It's been a hot minute since I made that. Milk, honey, and I think it was ginger? It's not ginger. Milk, also not that. Did I make it before? Nope. There we go. One nutritious drink from the archipelago coming up. Thanks a lot. Yes, found it. Warm booster made of susu, telur. Ah, okay. Thanks a lot. So what's in it again? It's a hot blend of egg, milk, ginger, and honey. The drink's name itself is... Oh god, I can't... This is gonna sound so bad from me. The drink's name itself is the ingredients. Susu, telur, madu jahe. Milk, egg, honey, and ginger. I wonder if somewhat reminds me of eggnog. A bit spicier and not as rich. But I can see why Henry likes it. It's a great stamina drink. He probably needs it to keep up with Rachel's work. You're probably right. As long as he remembers to take breaks. Maybe I should invite him for a drink here sometime. What do you think? That would be lovely. Then consider it done. You know what? I don't think Hyde will show up tonight. Oh? Why is that? When I called him earlier to confirm, he sounded a little annoyed. And it's not exactly great outside either. I thought he liked this kind of weather. Him? Yes. His car? Not so much. That thing wouldn't survive this kind of storm. Now that you mention it, you may be right. I used to drive him in that car back in the day. Did he ever tell how old it is? Yep, give me the whole backstory of it. Oh, I guess I'm just surprised he still uses it at all. The car clearly holds a special meaning to him. He was also quite sentimental about it. It makes me wonder if it has anything to do with him moving back here. What do you mean? He lived here before, right? Yeah. And he kept bringing up the past too. Are you saying his move is motivated by nostalgia? I was going to say homesickness, but I realized that makes no sense. I get what you're trying to say though. It's a strange longing for times gone by. Considering how fast things are changing these days. Maybe even too fast. Which is ironic, really. What is? Live long enough, you realize the only constant in life is change itself. Things like shifting necessities, curveball throws at you, decay, just stuff we have to deal with indefinitely. Considering our lifespans, you would think we get used to it at some point. But we never do. Never completely, anyway. I suppose the idea of getting used to change is a paradox in and of itself. That sounds about right. Perhaps nostalgia is like an anchor for dinosaurs like us. It keeps us from losing ourselves to the world's relentless speed. You get used to this after a while, huh? Pretty much. Oh. Who's that? Oh, it's Renoa. Oh, hey there. We meet again. Yes, hello. Excuse me for a moment. Got it. Welcome, Miss Renoa. Good evening. I'm meeting up with someone. Oh, okay then. How's your car, by the way? My car? Oh, you mean the tire? There's really no need for concern as it was an easy fix. But thank you for asking. My pleasure. What do I have in my drawer? Oh, it's just the lighter. May I order a cup of Russian tea? What's Russian tea? Oh no. Not Russian tea. Did I not save? Let me see. Oh shit. Oh, okay, never mind. I have to accidentally restart that. Ginger and honey. Russian tea. Tea, lemon, and something. Tea, lemon, and cinnamon. I think I was close earlier. Tea, lemon, cinnamon. Yeah. There we go. Russian tea for the lady rushing to deliver. That's a good one. This is perfect, by the way. Thank you. You're welcome. So, who are you meeting with, if I may ask? You should know, shouldn't you? After all, you were tasked to give me his contact info. Ah, that's right. So you two did end up connecting after all. We did, yes. But truth be told, I really wasn't sure about contacting him at all. Why is that? Because as far as I'm concerned, there was no real reason for me to do so. Nevertheless, I sent you an email the following night, right after the completion of my final delivery at 3 AM. That's pretty late. A little, but surely no worse than forgetting it altogether. But he replied straight away, to my surprise. Had no idea he was such a night owl. Or perhaps just an extremely early bird, right? I wonder if he ever sleeps. That should be a question for you too, miss. Oops. Anyhow, he answered me with an apology. He regretted his rudeness from when we first met. Which was another surprise, since I didn't think it was such a matter of concern. Well, he did return here the next evening looking for you. Did he? Yep, he said so himself. I see. How peculiar. In any case, we exchanged phone numbers and have been texting ever since. Then he said he wants to meet up and speak in person, which is why I'm here now. But I'm still not quite sure it's necessary. I mean, maybe he just wants to chat and hang out? Perhaps. I suppose we'll see. Yeah, so Hyde's not coming tonight. Probably for the best, given the circumstances. Is he okay? Yeah, he just wants to take it easy tonight. Understandable. My apologies for the surges. I was hoping it'd become more stable as the days go by, but no need to apologize for something out of your control. That's right, you tried everything you could. I know. Thank you for your understanding. How are you doing, miss? Hey there. Did you manage to resolve your issues with children? That long pause. Sorry? Oh, I mean the hospital admission problem from the other day. Oh, that. For a minute there, I thought I had a beef with kids I was unaware of. Sorry for the misunderstanding. No worries, that was funny. It's only been a few days, so not much has changed. How about you? Feeling better? Ah, yes. Well, I apologize for the way I acted a few days ago. We all have our bad days, so don't worry about it. Thank you. Ah, while we're on the topic, I told Officer Georgie what happened to your car. Would you mind pointing out where you believe the incident took place? Sure. It was quite near the police station actually, at a metered spot, just outside the now defunct library. Oh, the vacant building at the Bourne intersection? Yes, that's correct. I see. So it was originally a library. You know the area? I know of the property, yeah. It's been abandoned for a long time now. But it's a heritage building, so I often wonder why nothing's being done with it, since it's located in a very populated, culture-centric neighborhood. That's true. There's even an art college nearby, right? Then again, I've always found the street a bit odd. Odd? How? It's just barren, especially if you consider the area. And the weird thing is, I feel like it wasn't always that way. Feel? Don't you mean remember? Nope, exactly what I said. It's a feeling, not a clear memory. Strange, isn't it? That is odd. Well, there used to be a flea market there, a long time ago. Perhaps that is what you were recalling. A flea market, huh? The last time I drove there, I remember seeing nothing but concrete. Oh, wait. There was a single dead tree surrounded by strange trinkets. A dead tree, huh? No idea why I almost forgot about it. It stuck out like a sore thumb. About 8 feet tall, no leaves. It's been there forever too, as far as I know. That hawthorn tree was something of a landmark for us drivers, and the trinkets you spoke of were actually remembrances of sorts. Remembrances? Hold on, I'm just going to recap a bit here, okay? Sure. Your car was vandalized near a metered parking spot in front of an abandoned library, on a seemingly deserted street within a busy area that has a large dead tree surrounded by remembrances for some reason. Sounds about right. Except the tree is no longer there. Oh? Are you serious, Pops? Why wouldn't I be? That is crazy! Oh, it's a full party tonight. Good evening, gentlemen. Hey, everyone! Oh boy, I thought I'd be early, but you're already here, lady. Hello. Tasso, for the love of all things holy, tell me my lighter is here. Well, you're in luck, because it is. Hot damn, thank goodness. Would you like me to get it now for you? Nah, it's fine. I'm just glad to know it's here. Just bring it with my drink later. Sure, let me know when you're ready to order. Cheers. Well, what's up, y'all? What's new? Evening, officer. We were just talking about the spot where Miss Renoa's car may have been vandalized. Oh? They got your car too, lady? Yes, but it's not a big issue. Still, sorry you had to experience that. Where do you park your car, miss? I can send you the coordinates if you like. That'd be real swell. Got it. Okay. Oh. Is it within the area you expected, or? Pretty much. The same location where I parked mine a week ago. I see. Okay, rest assured we already increased patrols in that area. That's great. But I'm the only one doing it at the moment. That sucks. What's that? Am I hearing you? Oh, all people doubting my skill, Tasso? No, of course not. I just thought it means an unfortunate increase to your workload. Ah, well, them's the breaks, I suppose. Anyway, give me your strongest espresso, Tasso, and don't forget my lighter. Espresso. There it is. Thanks, Tasso. You probably think I'm being silly, but what can I say? It's my lucky charm. Yeah, it's borderline superstitious, I know. Don't you have anything of the sort? Well, I have good reason to be superstitious. Whenever I don't have this with me, things happen. Right. Alright, here comes the strongest espresso in the house. Cheers. Ah, perfect, as always. Are you ready to order? Might as well. I like something desserty, because it's my cheat day. Sure thing. Any specifics in mind? Well, I saw this video of a Spanish hot coca drink yesterday. It was so thick, I thought it was chocolate sauce. The name also reminded me of a song. For some reason, I can't remember the title right now. You know, that sounds oddly familiar. For real? Then I have that thick coca. It's got milk and a little hot spicy kick to it. Alright. Hot spicy ginger? He did say Spanish. Here comes this cup of Spanish Sahara for you. Oh, so that's what it's called. That's what we call it here, at least. Very cool. Then bon appetit. I think this is it. Very tasty. Thanks, Tasso. You're so welcome. So, Pops. Just earlier, you were telling me about your creepy patrolling experience, right? Was it in the same location where the lady's car was? Creepy patrolling experience? Well, I don't know if I should even talk about it. Maybe because it's just a tad too spooky, even for me. What happened? Tell him, Pops. It's not that big a deal, honestly. Then all the more reason to talk about it, right? Maybe someone here will know something. You got the point there. You're all talking about the area anyway, right? Yep. Well, I've been patrolling there the past few nights. The street itself is fairly straightforward. It's about half a mile round trip from the intersection and back. There's nothing much there either. A concrete sidewalk with metered parking spots. A fence here and there. And an unfinished construction site with a couple of CCTVs dotted about. No tree? What tree? There used to be a dead tree in front of the old library. Huh. Oh, that old dead tree. It was uprooted by the city back in January. Ah, the commercial community decided it wasn't really a good look. So when the city started a massive cleanup project last year, well, they simply voted to get rid of it. I see. Why? What's up? We were actually talking about it earlier, and being a decades-old landmark aside, could there be something more to the tree than just, well, being old? You think so? That's what I think after listening to Miss Renoa. Are you expecting something from me, Tasso? Huh? Oh, no. I'm sorry if I crossed the line. You just seem to know a lot about it, and I don't want to mix up the facts. I understand. But I would like to hear the officer's spooky tale first, if you don't mind. Gladly, miss. Almost forgot about me there, huh? So anyway, patrolling on that street is an easy task. Only 4 or 5 cars will park there overnight, at most. Which makes keeping track a breeze. Sounds ideal enough. As expected though, nothing happened the first 2 nights. But yesterday was a different story. What? Hold on. What a stage setup, eh? Oh, phew, there you go. Thank goodness. Sorry about that. Please continue. Alrighty. Well, it was nearing the end of my shift, and I found nothing was amiss. There were only 4 cars parked that night. 2 spaces across the street and 2 on the opposite corner, side by side. My plan was to leave after I walked one last round to make sure everything was okay. And a reminder, you can cover the whole place in only 8 minutes. Okay? Then, at the end of my walk, I took a drag of my cigarette, smug as I was about to clock out, thinking 'twas another night job well done. Right? Wrong, as I was immediately faced with the impossible. 3 cars, 2 side by side, 1 across the street. All tires flattened. There's 12 vandalized tires for you, in a span of less than 10 minutes. That is so strange. It would take several minutes to flatten just 1 tire. And that's if you're using the right tools. Right? But that wasn't all. Oh no, it wasn't. Because that was the moment when the streetlights went out suddenly and all at once. What? Right after that, I heard flurries of footsteps and laughter. Poor Lucas. Oh god. He's shook. I am also shook. They were going further and further away from the scene, and yet I saw nothing at all. Oh. Are you sure? Did the CCTV catch anything? The infrareds actually managed to catch something. But the videos weren't clear at all, so I'm still investigating it. Jeez Louise, Pops! That's way spookier than what you told me in the car. But it's cool though. I may be laughing now, but I almost pissed my pants there, you see. Well, whoever they were, they sure worked fast. Right? Anyway, Tasso, I think I want another drink. All the talking is making my throat dry, and coffee just ain't cutting it. Roger that, what would you like? What do you suggest? How about some tea with ginger and honey? Sounds good. Can I use the red flower stuff you have as a base? You mean hibiscus? Definitely. Okay then, they're like red flower tea with ginger and a touch of honey. Red flower, ginger, honey. Let's go. One piping hot teh, jahe, rosella for you. Oh, what does it mean? Jahe means ginger, teh means tea, and rosella is roselle, another name for hibiscus. I see, a legit herbal drink. Spicy, but perfect for the weather. Good call, Tasso. I'm happy to please. If that's the case, let me join your patrol, Pops. Cause I'm not scared of ghosts. Real beings scare me more. Wait a sec, kid. What do you mean by ghosts, eh? Jumping the gun a little there, ain't ya? I don't know, Pops. Maybe it's even something crazier than that. This is a really serious problem, kid. Don't joke around like that. Sorry. Interesting. You know something? No, not me. But she might. Right, the tree, wasn't it? Oh yeah. What about it, miss? It's your turn to finish your thought. I'm not sure if this can be of any use at all, but... Officer, are you aware of the story behind that tree? Huh? I recall what you said earlier. People often leave remembrances around it. What do you mean by that, miss? Well, it's because someone passed away there. What? Allow me to explain. I mentioned there was once a flea market on the street, correct? Right. They call it the fairy market. It was unofficially set up by the transients of the community. Transients being the government's term for unregistered citizens, including all the other uncategorizable beings at the time. Fairies were a part of that. Huh. I remember learning about it. After the war, the government made its first official attempt to sort things out. Organizing equitable classifications was thought as one of the first steps towards civil peace. But it was oversimplified, inefficient, and not speedy enough. Was that all before the Vindication Act? Way before that. Many who couldn't register were basically in administrative limbo. What? That's as good as like not existing at all. Really, that's horrible. It was the main reason why the fairy market was created in the first place. To ensure transient survival throughout the changing times. In more ways than one. The market had no real schedule, therefore. The start of Fairy Week will be marked by flowers strewn along the intersection. just so people would notice and come take a look. That sounds kind of too low-key, no? Because it was illegal, silly. Oh. And that was exactly the problem. The market ran day and night, its format unchanging. At the same time, the economy was slowly reshaping the landscape. People started to spend more, becoming reckless, while the laws were still shaky at best. Then a tragic incident occurred one night. A drunk driver was speeding and went off course, striking a vendor there. And the only evidence left of the crime was that tree, standing where there was no tree before. Wait a second, what? Why did I never hear about it? How long ago was this? The accident occurred in 1959, but the market itself was forcefully disbanded in 1961. Happened before I was born, huh? Yeah, I remember everything now. It was actually quite an infamous case, wasn't it? But due to the nature of the beings involved, most people couldn't help but, well, forget. Huh? We're talking about the late 50s to the early 60s here. Post-war media was used quite scarce. And I remember the drunk driver was also the son of a very wealthy individual. Oh, correct. But that wasn't exactly the part that made the case so infamous. It was due to the fact that no body was ever found at the crash site, as well as the vendor being a transient with no legal ID or paper trail. As a result, the court had no choice but to dismiss the case. But there was a body, wasn't it? Just not the one people might expect. You mean the tree? Right. When semi-spiritual beings like us pass on from the physical world, some may leave specific landmarkers behind. Not all can do that though. Us banshees don't do that. You don't? No, we simply disappear. So if I'm getting this right, the tree couldn't be used as evidence because it wasn't classified as remains yet. The witnesses were in the same boat, no paper trail. So the driver's lawyer took advantage of those loopholes. And that's messed up. Beyond messed up, Pops. Whoa. I'm boiling. I'll take a further look into this more, miss. But I have a question for you. Yes? You think the vandalism has anything to do with the tree removal? I don't know. I suppose it might depend on when the acts of vandalism began. Yeah, that makes sense. Well, I better get going then. It's almost time for my shift. Okay, officer. Recollect, Pops. I'd rather not. Stay safe. Will do. I'll keep you all posted. I better go as well. Got an early shift tomorrow. There's one thing I want to confirm though, if you don't mind, miss. Yes? It's about the fairies passing and how everyone ends up forgetting about them afterwards. I really thought that was just a myth. I guess not, unfortunately. That's why there used to be memorabilia around that tree. There were efforts by those who remembered to preserve the memory. But it wasn't enough, was it? Else we still have the tree. It really makes me question my memory. Are there any people I might have forgotten? Were there events I missed? It is quite scary to think about. For beings like us, being forgotten is inevitable. I can never pronounce that word right. So, no need to feel bad about it. Is that so? Oh, I didn't catch your name, by the way. I'm Gala. Oh, I'm Lucas. Nice to meet you, sir. Well then, nice meeting you. Good luck with your future auditions, Miss Renoa. Thank you. See you around. Bye, Tasso. Take care. You okay? It's getting real late. I still want to talk, but if you're tired, let me know. Have you eaten? Do you want something to eat? We don't sell food here. You don't? No wonder your place is always empty. Well, just kidding, Tasso. Don't hate me, please. Well, do you want another drink, maybe? I wouldn't mind one. Nice! What do you feel like having? Something without milk, with a fresh filling and some brightness to it. I'm also quite partial to the blue pea tea. Oh! Okay, I'll order something for you. May I? Sure. Tasso, could you try this mix? I saw this pretty drink in the video and it looked perfect for our lady. Yep, what is it? It had blue pea as a base, a lot of mint, and a splash of lemon. A lot of mint and lemon. Ooh. There we go. still a lactose intolerant cop. I know that feeling. Here you go, miss. From the man sitting right beside you. It looks nice, very pretty. I like it, thank you. I'm glad you do. And wow, Tasso, it looks exactly like what I envisioned. You're a G. I'm happy you both enjoyed it. Man, that whole case earlier though, it was a lot to take in. Also, about the whole forgetting thing? That really gave me chills. Why? Don't you feel scared of just disappearing in the end? Cause I do. That's why I thought I finally understood you too. I mean, the reason why you wanted to become a soprano your way, the traditional way. Oh? Care to compare notes? Because I've yet to be entirely certain about that myself. Oh, huh. Now that's what you call huge pressure. Before that though, can I ask a little teeny tiny question? Go ahead. What inspired you to go down this path? I mean, I may have an idea on why you're choosing the hard way, but why soprano in the first place? Because it's been done before. Pardon? Because there was already a Banshee who did it before, so I know it's not impossible. What, for real? Her part was that of a sorbet aria, and she was not very well known. What is a sorbet aria? Oh, I mean she was a secondary character. Back in the early 19th century opera, sorbet arias would be sung towards the end of the second act, usually before the evening ended. Hawkers would use the time to offer their wares for the last time to the patrons, often desserts, hence sorbet aria. Oh, I see. Like background singing at the end of a show or something? Yes. Things are different nowadays because people are expected to listen to the end. The first time I heard her voice was on an old recording of a comedy opera. I was still very young back then. She was playing a confused maid role at the very end of the opera, wondering why and how people could act so crazy when in love. But despite her confusion, she thought she wasn't so old that she couldn't find out the reason herself. It was a funny epilogue to the opera, but hearing a banshee sing such a playful and light-hearted piece, it was truly an eye-opener for me. Oh man, I bet it was. Sadly, I couldn't find any of her other works, but it always stuck with me nonetheless. So I left my commute and started trying on my own. That's really cool and brave of you to do so. I agree. I've never talked about this before. It's a bit embarrassing. Don't be embarrassed. I think it's super cool. You're just feeling inspired to push yourself beyond what's expected of you, and wishing to live a rock on this world. Is that what you think? Uh-huh. You're just trying to follow a path that has been traveled before, and that's not always a bad thing, especially for beings like us. You're just being careful, yet courageous. Right, cause the path you're choosing to walk on is still difficult. Regarding leaving your mark? I don't know. I just feel maybe you're the same as me. Like, what's the point of being born if nobody's going to remember us? Right, Tasso? No comment. Aww. Why do you want to be remembered so much? Why wouldn't you? Us Banshees see the end differently than most, so care to enlighten me? I can't speak for anyone else, but in my case, I was a kid who grew up in a large family, you see. Like, humongously large. Literally couldn't count all my siblings even if I wanted to, cause they're everywhere, thanks to my dad. Oh. We weren't exactly wealthy though, not even close. The money situation was always suffocating us, for real. But sometimes dad would drop by to give us some money, though it wasn't even enough to cover the utilities for more than a couple of months. Then he'd just leave a couple of days later. Are you the eldest? Nope. But my older bros had already moved out by the time I hit high school. I was so surprised when my dad gave me the house after he died. Oh, which is where my mom and siblings live now. I'm sorry to hear about your father. No, it's fine. I mean, yeah, it was weird to receive the news of his death from an attorney, knowing he passed away by himself, and how it took them a week to find out. Oh. Natural causes, by the way. So, I mean, how did he check out with absolutely no one knowing? Where were my other siblings? What happened to his ladies? It was just so crazy to me. And I guess just kinda haunted me. Haunted how? My life growing up was filled with disappointment over him, you know? I mean it in the best way possible. My disappointment actually drove me to work hard for my family. Just vilify him in my mind, like shaking my mental fist at him. Gonna do so much better than you, sir, and all that. I see. But then I received the news that he left me the house. Like, I know he had no money. The house is probably one of the only assets he had left. So, when he gave me the house in his will, all I could think about was what went through his mind. What went through his mind exactly? The fact that he had a will at all was probably already a surprise for you. Exactly. What am I supposed to think of that? What am I supposed to think of him? And does it even matter anymore? When he's already long gone? Anyway, so my elder brothers came back, right? They wanted me to sell the house and divide the earnings. Wanting a slice of the inheritance pie, huh? You didn't do that, right? Heck no. That's why I left for LA. So if they really wanted me to sell the house, they have to chase after me. Good call. Thankfully, my younger siblings and I are pretty tight. We're a good team. That's a relief. But that was also why I needed money fast. I needed to stand money to help with my family's bills. And of course, so I could stay alive as well. That's why I ended up having to join the production house. The production house? The production house. Yeah, it was like a bunch of content creators getting together to make videos every day. I was young and naive too, you know. Cause my first time venturing to another state completely alone after all. So I didn't know better how predatory things could be. Man, this isn't even going to be an entertaining story. If you're uncomfortable, you don't have to talk about it. No, it's not that. I just really didn't like that production house. But I needed the money. Someone there saw my vlogs and invited me in. And as one of the youngest there, I tried to get along with everyone. But you see, we were all created in the entertainment industry, right? Which means we all had huge egos. So naturally there was somewhat of a hierarchy of sorts. Trying to be all around helpful turned me into the butt of the joke all the time. That didn't discourage me all that much, by the way. I mean, I also learned a lot there, not gonna lie. Still. But what ended up destroying my willpower was actually something real close, you know? Myself. What do you mean by that? Well, in a house where everyone wants to be the main character, each of us would need a solid, distinct persona, yeah? Eventually, I was assigned one too. Which was supposed to be a good thing, but they wanted me to be the worst version of what I am, essentially, with heavy emphasis on what. I had a lot of nicknames too, like, hey baby goat, what are you up to now, satyr boy? Here comes the party goatee, Mr. Excesses? You gonna go fishing tonight again, or what? Fishing? We had to go out and try to hit on people. And we weren't allowed to come home unless we failed spectacularly or scored. Oh. I always try to be the punchline though, because there were always more views when something ended badly. But it was still the worst, because I really had to act it all out, you know? Bothering people for pretend dates, be sort of a dumb jerk just for jokes. Just so all look fun for the camera. Even if scripted, I never really liked doing it, honestly. Because in the end, all of it just reminded myself of my dad, you know? And I kept thinking, does the apple never fall far from the tree after all? So yeah, the whole thing just really sucked. You had it difficult. Yeah? Well, long story short, being tokenized sucked. The end. No disagreement there. Sorry, I swear that wasn't what I wanted to talk to you about. It's fine. I actually learned a lot this evening. I just don't want to take up more of your time. So can I just ask you a direct question? Sure. Great. Will you be interested in guest starring on my new show? I realized I was being dumb the day we first met. I kind of forced my thoughts on you and was just being a general smartass. I undermined your straightforward efforts because I was jealous of your solid resolve. Since everything I did was anything but. But you succeeded eventually, didn't you? And you worked hard for it. Yet I almost ended up losing sight of why I'd be doing all this in the first place. I went with the flow, make excuses a lot, or to justify the gain. But to what end? That's why I've been trying to put together a talent showcase for those who need extra exposure. It's going to be a small production thing. It'll be paid, I swear, and not with exposure either. Though it won't be much at first, because I don't have that much money ready to use at the moment. So, wait, This is a bit sudden, don't you think? No pressure though. How does the show work? Well, I'm not 100% sure of the shape of it yet, but ideally it will have like an interview at first, and then I'll record your singing. I'll bring all the gear. I will also be doing all the editing and stuff. It's gonna take a bit of time since I still have my main show to do. But I did start my vlogging journey on my own too, so I can bet you the result will still be quality. Your show will tank if I'm the first guest, you realize that, right? If it does, then it doesn't deserve to exist. I don't care about haters, but you do. That's why I won't push you. Ah, I'm flattered, but no thank you. Okay, thanks for considering me though. Thanks for giving it a thought. Because I have to go. Okay. It's nothing to do with what you said, okay? Just bad timing. Yes, I get it. Cool. I hope we can meet again like this. If you want to. Maybe. I'll take it. Thanks for your time too, Tasso. Sorry if I bored you. Heh. No, truly, it was my pleasure. Cool. Okay, I really have to go. See you around. Safe trip. Alrighty, see you, Tasso. Come again soon. I think tonight was the most I've talked in the past 2 years, and I'm quite glad to hear that. Thank you, Tasso. For what? For being such a good host. I know I'm not the easiest being to get along with. It's always a pleasure to have you and everyone around. Then I'll be taking my leave. I feel like I have a lot to rethink. But I'll see you again soon. And we'll be waiting, always. Safe trip, Miss Renoa, and have a good night. That was a long night. I think I'm done for the night. I am too. I hope everything will work out for everyone. Luna Cell prototype ready for first test. Newcomer progressive Elven metal band Avatar. Top US music chart. World Golem Culture Center. World Golem Culture Center. Grand opening to be held in Bhutan. Let's see. Oh. Normal schedule. Have you ever heard a story that wows you try to go for a dream because you're so inspired to do or anything? Share your story. All the ingredients are stocked up and the weather's keeping quiet. Looks like a good night to listen to some stories. Hey, it's Gala again. And Hyde! Hello. Good evening, Mr. Hyde, Mr. Gala. Nice to see you too. How did you go at the hospital today? Well, it was fine, except I was a little exhausted. Goodness, are you having issues with the children again? No, that's not it. It's just... Well, for starters, my Fury is giving me a hard time. Your Fury? Is it the full moon already? Nope, but I sometimes get pre-Fury symptoms. Pre-Fury symptoms? Yeah, yeah, it's a common thing for werewolves. A few days before the full moon, our bodies start to prepare for Fury. And that changes the way they react to pretty much everything. Symptoms vary depending on who you ask. But it can affect our muscles, our appetite, our energy levels. It can give us headaches and a lot of other stuff. Small, but annoying. That doesn't sound pleasant. No, to be honest, it's not great. For me, I've been feeling pretty sore and more tired than usual. And a bit crankier as well. Is there a drink that could help you with that? I never found one, but if anyone can come up with it, it's you, Tasso. Since a Galahad can soothe your Fury, maybe it would work pre-Fury as well? Maybe. But I think it needs to be more relaxing. Like a Galahad, but with no caffeine. And maybe blue. I feel like I might have accidentally made that. No. Galahad, but no caffeine and maybe blue. Loopy. milk and ginger. Blue tea, milk and yeah, gala tea. Here we go, a gala tea for you. Do you count with these names on the spot, Tasso? Ah, no, it takes a bit of soul searching. Yeah. So relate to the situation and so on. That almost makes it sound like you know in advance for what we're going to order. Call it a sixth sense. Right, let's see how your sixth sense tastes. Wow, this is excellent. Exactly what I needed. Very happy to hear that. Why are both of you so... What's with the long looks, you two? Did something happen? Actually, Tasso, I guess I'll just come out with it. I need your help. My help? Come on, I wasn't that bad. No? I was so tired today I nearly fell asleep on the job. Ugh. But most importantly, it's not good for you. Moping around, sulking, refusing to look at solutions. I've never seen you like this and I'm getting worried. There's nothing to worry about. You say that, but then you spend entire nights looking miserable. No advice I come up with is good enough. And hide. I'm barely keeping it together as it is. You should know by now how I feel when fury is about to hit. I take it you two ended up chatting yesterday after all? You bet we did. After I walked out of here, I headed home and found this one. Lying at the sofa, staring at the ceiling. Looking so gloomy it sucked the color out of the room. And it's not the first time either. It's a constant these days. Please help me help him, Tasso. I'm at my wit's end. Mr. Hyde? Fine. The truth is, I'm bored to death. Or I would be if it wasn't for the whole immortality thing. I'm nearing 40 years old. I've never been this bored in my entire life. Interesting. You usually make it sound like you're much older. 40 years old in vampire years. I'm not saying how old that is in other species years. Eyes on the prize, Tasso. Intervention first, gossip later. My apologies. Why are you so bored, Mr. Hyde? My job. What was that? My job! Hey, no need to shout. Well, I'm also irritated about it, okay? I'm not exactly used to sitting around twiddling my thumbs. Modeling stopped being fun ages ago. You did mention something like that last time. You are trying to leave modeling behind then? Yeah. Is there a specific reason for that? It's all just so brief. Back when I started modeling, people thought of fashion in a different way. They wanted to keep their outfits for a while, so they had to be elegant, well-made, and versatile. Some campaigns that I featured in stayed on billboards for months, and I knew the clothes would last decades. In a way, it felt like I was building a bond with their wearers. I endorsed something that featured in their cherished memories. But then social media came and it all became disposable. The clothes themselves, of course, but the models even more. I shoot a campaign, the brand posts it online and it gets attention for what, 10 minutes? Then another campaign comes in and everything's forgotten. Blink and it's gone. There's no bond to be built there. Isn't that changing these days though? With slow fashion and the like? That's true, and people are getting into vintage clothes too. I salute that. But the reality of my job remains the same. What about your fans? You have so many people following you. You mentioned that last night and my answer hasn't changed. They follow me because they think I'm pretty. Being admired is nice, but it doesn't constitute a bond. So are you saying you like to leave more of a mark? Maybe so. It would be nice if I did something that people remembered, that became part of their lives in a real way. You do know you have people in your life in a real way, right? People who always remember you? That's not the same thing. Maybe you should study to become a doctor or something. That would make a real difference. No, thank you. This job still needs to be fun. Studying for 10 years has to exhaust myself in 14-hour shifts. Do you mistake me for a hardworking vampire? Do you see what I'm dealing with, Tasso? It does seem to be a thorny issue. Perhaps you'd like to mull it over with a drink in hand, Mr. Hyde. Yeah, that sounds good. That's maybe something I like. Anything you've seen me enjoy recently or when we first met. What did he like when we first met you? Yeah, good. Let's do ginger. There we go, Mr. Hyde. You seem to like this well enough. Nice, Tasso. And you lost your bet, Hyde. A bet? When Hyde was wallowing in self-pity yesterday, I told him many people cared about him. And I bet you could remember what he liked even if he gave you no instructions. So now I get to say that I was right. And Hyde gets to buy me dinner. At the place of my choosing. Ugh. You're going to pick that horrible steakhouse again, aren't you? You know it. Have you won other bets in the past, Mr. Gala? Let's see. You say it, Hyde. He's won every single one of the bets we've ever made. Wow. Yeah, I'm this close to being able to buy a new TV with the money I'm saving on food. Just rub it in my face, why don't you? Oh, hi everyone. Hey, it's Lua. Hey, Lua. Hi, Lua. Busy night, I see. Hi, Miss Lua. Busy and lively, just the way we like it. That's good. And I'm really glad you're here, Hyde. Wanted to apologize for the other night. I was so excited to see you, especially since it had been a while. But we ended up fighting with Bailey's instead. Venture capitalist. You must be getting bored of our arguments. It's alright, they're kind of fun to watch. How are things with you two, by the way? Just let me order before I answer. If that's alright, Tasso? Of course, what would you like? I spent the whole day talking in meetings and presentations, so I have a bit of a sore throat. Is there anything you would recommend for that? Definitely something with lemon and honey. Sounds great. I love a lemon and honey drink then, please. Lemon and honey. Here we go. Some honey to soothe, some lemon to boost recovery. Thanks, Dr. Tasso. This is truly lovely. Just what I needed. That's great to hear. My company's trying to get a big contract. So I've been organizing meetings with everyone, making sure it's all going according to plan. That sounds pretty tough. Yeah, it's a lot of responsibilities and decision making, and a part of me likes that, but probably feels the pressure of it. So it's nice to be able to unwind from a warm cup. Anyhow, to answer your earlier question, Gala, you've probably gathered that Bai and I have been fighting. Yeah, Hyde told me a little about it too. Right, well, we haven't discussed the wedding for the past couple of days, and honestly, it's done me a lot of good. The thing is, I know Bai means well. He suggests all these things that he thinks I'd like, and I should like them. He's paying attention, not just sending random ideas. I should be grateful that he's trying to please me, but I get annoyed instead. And then I start feeling guilty that I'm annoyed, which makes me even more annoyed. It's not great, I know. Well, it'd be easier if we always acted rationally, if we only got annoyed at the right people for the right reasons. But things aren't that simple, are they? That's true. Although I guess you figure out what actually annoys you, it would help. That's the problem, I'm not sure. At first, I thought I was tired or worried. The decision making at my job is taking a toll, for sure. It's a bit hard for me to also deal with organizing things in my personal life. Also, the financial side of it is hard to navigate. I don't want Bai to spend too much money, but he's right that involving my family comes with strings attached. I'm not sure how to avoid that though. But I'm realizing that might not even be the main issue. The more he sends me links to venues and caterers, the more it all feels wrong to me. I don't mean the wedding itself. I want to get married to Bai. But the way we are planning it, I don't know. I've been to my friends' weddings before. I've also been browsing the most popular wedding pictures online. There are always these big parties, very put together, very classy. They have their whole families over, their friends and colleagues. They rent these beautiful barns and they hire live bands. They wear designer dresses and bespoke suits. I used to look at that and think, this is great, this is what I want. But now it just feels more and more off to me. Why don't you tell your fiance that? What if he thinks I'm getting cold feet? Or that I'm questioning his ability to help with the budget? That's up to how you communicate it, isn't it? Right, but it's still a difficult topic. We've been through so much, you all know that. It's supposed to be our special day, a way to celebrate our partnership. Bai wants to honor that. He'll feel awful if he thinks I don't. Or if he thinks I don't trust him. I swear, you and your elf are well matched. You always worry so much about what others think, instead of working out your own wants and needs. You do realize that's the important bit, right? I mean, generally yes, I get that. But how does it apply here? What do you think it means to honor your partnership? To celebrate it properly, for starters? Right. And who are you in that partnership with? I believe you've met him, the blonde guy with the puppy eyes? Right, I'm glad you remember that, because you were making it sound like you were in a relationship with your friends who got married, and the strangers who put wedding pictures online. This is your relationship you're celebrating. Why are you so concerned with other people's weddings? Your special day needs to make sense to the two of you. Have it in trainers at the fast food joint if that's what you like. That way you can also take the budget out of the equation. A simpler wedding won't feel shabby if you make it feel properly yours. I still want a pretty outfit and decent food. Thank goodness. But point well taken. It's just, my family might have certain expectations. Did they openly say that? No. Then maybe they do. Or maybe you just think they do. The only way to find out is to talk to them. Besides, isn't Bailey's also about to become your family? You sure are the only family he's got. I'm not saying to disinvite everyone or to fight with them or anything, but you shouldn't put their needs above your own. I really shouldn't, should I? You've given me food for thought. Thanks, Hyde. My pleasure. Isn't that amazing how you perk up when you give people advice, Hyde? Maybe you should become a therapist. Everyone's... Thanks for the vote of confidence. Yes, I did say I might become a couples counselor, but I agree with what you all implied. I don't think I'm quite tactful enough for that. Are you looking to change careers, Hyde? He's bored of modeling. He finds it too impermanent. Wants to leave a mark. Wants to have fun. That's a very quick summary. Oh, I see. Well, is there any way you can make modeling fun again? I don't think so. Last time I had proper fun was maybe 20 years ago. What happened then? I was modeling a capsule collection for a young designer, and she wanted to take her own pictures. She got a studio, locked the outfits there, she found someone to do the makeup. Then she ripped out an old film camera, a proper relic. I hadn't seen one like it since the 60s. My granddad has an old and black silver camera with 2 lenses. Was it something like that? Yep, exactly like that. She said she preferred it because of the way it captured the light, and also because it was a slower experience. Something that would allow us to connect more. At first, I didn't think much of it. I started doing the usual, posing, switching some more. But something felt different. Then I realized what it was. Most of the time, we were just talking. She only took a picture once in a few minutes, if that. Is that unusual? Yep, most fashion photographers take dozens of pictures in a row. I felt a bit sorry for her, to be honest. I thought she didn't know what she was doing and that she was wasting her money. But we had a great time and we got kind of friendly, I guess. Because at the end of it, she let me use up all the remaining exposures. I fooled around, shot some random stuff, and one portrait of her. Then she suggested I come with her to her darkroom, watch how she developed the pictures and how they came out. She did always have a fondness for dark places. Comes with the territory. But as for the pictures, well, they were gorgeous. First of all, I looked really like me, you know? A me I could recognize. But that's not what even stuck with me the most. It's the care she put into processing each frame. Working each picture through the chemical baths, hanging them, drying them. It's like watching a magic ritual. And her portrait. When she saw it, she got a bit emotional. She said she was used to being on the other side of the camera. And it was the first time she really liked a portrait someone took of her. I'm in a weird place these days. It's not like me to tell these kinds of tales. Or launch into sloppy monologues, really. Just forget it. No, I think it's a beautiful story. And gives me an idea, I think, of another career for you. Please share, Lua. You'll be doing both of us a solid. Go on then. Well, maybe it's because I've looked at so many of them recently. But apparently, film is making a big comeback from wedding pictures. That's what you said, it captures the light beautifully. And it's a more personal, slower approach. Maybe you could try that? Who, me? No, the other vampire who's looking at a new line of work. I think you've got the wrong guy here, Lua. I know I'm disgustingly sentimental these days, but I'm not that far gone. Attending one wedding gives me cavities, let alone several per month. Ah well, forget about it then. No, don't forget about it at all. It will be perfect for you, come on, Hai. I know you like to play strong and sarcastic, but you are sentimental, and you love to chat people up. You solve all the bridesmaids' drama and offend the parents. But most importantly, you do something for these people that they'll never forget. You look at your pics their whole lives. If that's not leaving a mark, I don't know what is. You're assuming they won't get divorced. I don't know if this is the right topic for Miss Lua. It's alright, I know some marriages end in divorce, but that doesn't change anything, does it? Whether a marriage lasts for a few months or several decades, the wedding is still an unforgettable moment in someone's life. That career in the mafia is really looking up. You're hopeless. I'm falling asleep on my chair now, so I'm gonna head back. Do whatever you want, you thick skull vampire. Just don't stay out too late, okay? Yeah, alright. That's my cue as well. I have some thinking to do. And maybe some talking. Thanks again, Hyde. And good luck. I hope your next adventure is a good one. It will be. Good night, Lua. Good night, Tasso. See you later. Good night, you two. Here we go again. Last one sitting. Indeed, proper night owls. You didn't say anything about that wedding photographer idea. It's ridiculous, right? That's not for me to say, but I wouldn't call it ridiculous. It sounds like you enjoyed the whole film photography experience. And you do like being around people, don't you? I do, sometimes, but I'm not a romantic. People get married, they think they're taking a first step into forever. Well, there's no such thing as forever. Everyone ends up disappointed in some way, and then, next thing you know... I don't want to sound too depressing. So you don't believe in love? Of course I do, but only in a certain kind. You can choose to keep supporting someone, to enjoy their company. You can do that for years, with friends, family, lovers. But at the end of the day, you're still you, a separate person. And they're still them, there's no two souls becoming one, not really. I know, the one time I tried, it really didn't work out. But do you regret trying? No, I guess I don't. It confirmed for me that marriage and the like is never going to be my thing. And there's freedom in knowing that about myself. It's given me space to build other relationships that work much better. But at the same time, when I see people who truly believe it, people who walk into it, willing to share their lives so closely, even if for most of them it won't pan out, there's something beautiful there. Like watching a butterfly fly too close to a flame, or a flower bloom like it would never wilt. Well, in my case, I singed off my wings, but I'm still here. And on that day, for that minute when I said we'd be together forever and meant it, I sure felt alive. If you know all that, then you must also know that it's something worth celebrating. And something worth helping other people celebrate. You're a tricksy one, Tasso. And I'm too tired to fight your logic. Which means it's time for me to head back. Of course, Mr. Hyde. I meant to say, I appreciate our one-to-one chats. I hope we can keep providing you with a comfortable space here. Oh, it's plenty comfortable, for sure. Besides, well... Oh. all boils down to this, doesn't it? The way time passes for me is very different from everyone else I know. Thank goodness Gala is from a long-living species. But even then, he'll grow old before I do, eventually. The world will change 100 times, technologies will die out, new technologies will come. Will feel again maybe the way I feel now. In a century, maybe two. And Lua and Gala won't be around to give me advice. The world won't wait for me. But you will, am I right, Tasso? It is very perceptive of you, Mr. Hyde. You've grown to know me quite well. It's only fair that I know you a little in return. I suppose that's true. So anyway, I'm looking forward to that. To continuing our story. It's nice to know that no matter how much time passes, there's always going to be someone here rooting for me. Thank you for your trust, Mr. Hyde. We'll make sure it's not misplaced. I know you will. And on that note, I guess I'm going to go browse for some film cameras. That's the worst that can happen. Indeed. Take care of yourself, friend. And you as well. The world won't wait for you, Mr. Hyde, but some of us will. And that was some engaging commentary. September 28th. Robots asked to give ultimate advice. Elven burnout is real. Elven burnout is real. Here's how to avoid it. New image recognition with tech. And new image recognition tech confuses gnomes with dwarfs. A reveal. Oh. What we got? Got today. Hey, it's Georgie. Officer, welcome. Hey, Tasso. How are you doing? Officer? Oh, sorry. My mind's kind of elsewhere right now. No worries. Work issues? What else? I'm all ears if you want to chat. You're a pal. I'm in a real bind, Tasso. What happened? Well, never-ending workplace issues aside. Things are getting weirder by the minute, and I'm feeling out of my depth. Are you talking about your recent patrols? Yeah. I've been analyzing the CCTV footage the last couple of days. Oh, I see. How did that go? Did the cameras manage to capture anything? Yes and no. The infrareds caught a couple of blurry things. They ran off, turned a corner, and disappeared. Could have been anything, like rats or cats. But neither fits with what I heard on the scene. The footsteps, you know, the laughter. Heh. Come to think of it, it sounded more like giggles. Giggles? Can werewolves giggle? Not at that size, no. Even if they could, it doesn't explain the footsteps, really. I see. So what's next? I have some ideas, but they're just wild theories at this point. In short, I'm stumped. You know, Tasso? I've been racking my brain ever since Miss Renoa dropped that bomb about the fairies, you see. Oh, what about them? As it turns out, fairies was an umbrella term for many types of beings. Anything that didn't fit the known physical rules at the time was to be referred as such. Oh, Does that mean banshees were part of the fairy folk? Heh, probably. Not anymore though. It's an ongoing process, but the list is getting shorter. But back then, any sentient being that was even remotely incomprehensible was considered that. And that includes apparitions. Apparitions? Yes. Apparitions like ghosts. Ghosts? Ghosts! I see. What do you mean I see? Eh? Does it sound like a bad joke to you? I'm not sure I follow. But come on, ghosts don't exist. Do they? Cause if they do, all I can think about is the damn tree now. Ah, right, the tree. Does that mean it's haunted? It could be. Don't get how you can be so calm about this. Huh? Oh, well, why wouldn't I be? I mean, there have been all sorts of customers here. Some of them are so out of this world even. Sometimes literally. You're right. I guess you're not the one who's being weird here. Don't say that. Everyone has their own pacalitos? Pacadildo? I have no idea how to pronounce that word. True that. If you don't mind telling me though, may I ask the reason why you're so afraid of ghosts? Gosh, no. That's a long story. Not something I really talk about anyway. That's understandable. All you need to know is my fear was never caused by actual ghosts. Oh? Suggestion is a very powerful thing, Tasso, but that's all I'm willing to share for now. Okay, thanks for sharing. You know, it's funny. My grandpa was very into this stuff. So is my daughter. They're like my opposites, very curious and fascinated by the unknown. Drink. Not that I'm not, mind you. It's just my time with as a cop and all. Unknown variables usually mean trouble. I see, that makes sense. There are kind of people who could see things from nothing. And I mean that in the best way possible. Like, you know the Zen rock garden thing from Japan? They understand the Zenness of it. I don't, but that doesn't stop me from thinking it's chill, you know? I think you almost got it. Yeah? But I'm sure he and my daughter could talk about it for hours. Too bad he passed away before she was born. I'm sorry to hear that. Don't be. On that note, Tasso, you've seen my lighter, right? I say I'm pretty well acquainted with it by now, yes? My bad. That thing was originally my grandpa's. He bought it sometime after the war ended. It was to commemorate the upcoming new era, he said. In more ways than one. He got honorably discharged due to a severe leg injury he'd never be able to recover from. Ah. At that time he was living right across the street from the former town hall. For obvious reasons, he couldn't walk far. So it was a good location for him with all the veteran support nearby and all. Right. Now, about that street. You see, my grandpa liked to chat. Never liked being alone, that guy. Plus, he pretty much hated his bleak room. So sometimes he'd go hang out with the street vendors in front of his place. There were all kinds of beings there, along with their pets from all walks of life. That's why he had a lot of stories about the craziest things. Ah, I see. You see, the street name just came to my mind last night. Can you take a guess what it is? You mean Bond Street. Bond Street, uh-huh. It wasn't called that before. That's why the whole thing didn't click for me straight away. But went through his files and he checks out. Does that mean the vendors he was talking about? Bingo. And you know what? He bought the lighter there. Wow, what a coincidence. Are you sure it's only a coincidence? What do you mean? Come on. Ain't no way they're just coincidences, Tasso. Everything's lining up too perfectly if you ask me. Huh? Uh-oh. Think about what's happened so far. It was my team that found out about the vandalism before they dumped the whole case on me. Then my car was hit out of everyone's. Right. Then my luck started tanking. The broken mug, the fan, the black cat. There's tons of weird stuff happening in the past week alone. You see? Right. Then one thing led to another. My team was chosen to lead the investigation. And tell me, who's in charge of the case? Me. Then there's the Banshee lady, your patron. With some information I wouldn't have thought of. The dead tree stuff, the ferry market. Information I wouldn't even have remembered on my own. Right. And now we know why I kept on losing my lighter, right? How are they not connected? Tell me. Well, if you list them all in order like that, I'm telling you, Tasso, that place is calling for me. The case is made for me. But they really picked the wrong guy. I'm just real bad at dealing with spooks. They make me question everything I've ever known, you know? But I've always thought you were pretty good at handling ambiguity, officer. Not when it comes to supernatural stuff. Because we don't know enough about what's real and what's not. What will they do? Will they hurt us? Will they bring bad luck? Good luck? What's the truth? Who knows? Maybe we should take a day off and catch up on the sleep. Huh? What's that? No, nothing. You know? Another patron of mine suggested a documentary to watch. Yeah? The focus was on interesting drinks from around the world. You'll find everything from the mundane to the extreme, from local comforts to really special stuff. And I kept thinking one particular drink might interest you. Oh? It's something like a protection drink. It's made of coffee, honey, lemon, and a slew of other ingredients. Huh. Protection from what though? From evil spirits and bad luck, I think. Maybe it'll help ease your mind a bit. Ah, gotcha. But Tasso, if the whole situation is haunted, there shouldn't be any evil spirits, right? I wouldn't know, but I might need your lighter. What for? Well, the drink needs to be lit up. I just think your lighter might give it the extra magic boost it needs, compared to just using a regular flame, I mean. Why going to make me anyway? Nah, I trust you. Yeah. Okay, then make me this magical drink you've learned, Tasso. Coffee, honey, lemon. Coffee, honey, lemon. Oh wow. Oh wow, the drink does light up, huh? Yep, this is special just for you. So don't tell anybody. Roger that. Here we go. Oof, careful. Dang, Tasso. This is really something else. You sure it's okay to drink? I have no idea, but I'll take responsibility if anything happens. Ha! I'm just being silly, aren't I? Sorry for bothering you with all this stuff, Tasso. You even made me this crazy drink to make me feel better. Don't say that. I'm always happy to help however I can. Thanks. Man. At least recruits can deal directly with them, you know? Not the case with apparitions. Not with that attitude. Oh. Huh? Oh. There's a new guy. Anything can be caught with a little elbow grease. Not actual elbow grease. I won't make that mistake again. McQueen? Is that you? Hello, Williams. It's been a while. Heh, it is you. The surprises just keep coming this week. Let me go over there. You know each other? More or less. We were brunch buddies. Brunch buddies? Brunch buddies. I feel like I meant to say brunch buddies in that same serious tone. But I don't like to talk about it. I still get nightmares. I feel, yeah. I wasn't sure we were gonna make it out alive. We were truly the lucky ones. Without a doubt. I'll just take both of your words for it. Good. Because I don't like to talk about it. So what brings you here, detective? Sure it's not the coffee. Secret police reasons. I've not read the briefing yet. But enough about me. Tell me about your supernatural problems. Yeah? You need to bust a ghost? Oh. Well, busting might be a bit much. I was just talking to Tasso about getting over my fear of that stuff. And ghosts. Something like that. I'm weak against ghostly looking stuff. I get freaked out easily. For example, I admit I got a little spooked by what happened on Bond Street the other day. I remember that. I know very well that unchecked fear leads to prejudice. But that's why it's a no-no in my book. It even pains me to admit that aloud. Sometimes the toughest case to crack is ourselves. Other times, it's ghosts. How do you do it, detective? Your cases, man. I'd have probably lost all my hair by now if I were you. I try not to think about it all that much. And when I do think about it, I think who else will do it? Nobody, that's who. Yeah, that makes sense. You know, once you get over the dead part, they're just like you and me. Look, I remember this one case we were investigating a haunted apartment. This lady, her husband had recently passed away but wasn't moving on, if you get my drift. Real deadbeat, couldn't take a hint. Anyway, we had to go in and exercise the place, right? But the husband, he's caught wind and he's retreated into the basement. I won't get into the technicalities of it, but it's hard to get the ghost out of a basement or an attic. It's all about angles, really. I mean, I get it. It used to be his home, all his stuff is still there. It's hard, I get that. So I'm slowly going down the stairs to try and coax him out. Bam, next minute, all this romantic music is playing and the whole place is lit by a spotlight. Basic sensory illusions, classic ghost tricks. Then before I know what hit me, I'm sitting at this pottery wheel and he's behind me. Is this a Rome reference? Wait. There we go. Is this the plot of the 1990 film Ghost? Oh. Maybe? We had a movie night at work and I dozed off before it started. The story must have slipped to my subconscious. Riveting. Oh. Hey, detective. Hey, people I don't know. Did you get your important errand sorted? I sure did. Dooley, I can see crumbs stuck to your face. That's just the rain. It's very Brady rain. That's filling all over your top. That's blood from a gunshot wound. It's healed up though. You're literally holding the receipt from the donut shop. That's why they pay you the big bucks, detective. So what did I miss? You're talking about getting rid of Officer Williams' fear of ghosts. Hey, ghosts? Yeah, you're afraid of them, right, Dooley? No idea, never met one. We stopped a ghost riot. Ghosts aren't real. So you don't need to be scared of them. Easy. There you go, I guess. Sorry that wasn't much help. Are they like cameos from another game? Not sure. Nah. Why you say that they're just like us? That's a good thing to be reminded of. Exactly, they used to be alive, just like us. As long as they don't try to eat / possess / violently murder you, you should be fine. Very reassuring. Just talk to them. Feel their culture, listen to their issues, and spectral whales. Treat them like any other person. See what's on the inside. Which should be easy since you can see through them. I thought you didn't believe in ghosts. It's best not to overthink anything he says. I certainly don't. Well, thanks for the advice. I think it'll help. Our pleasure. Now, Dooley, I think we should read that case briefing and find out why we're here. I already did. Oh? Turns out we were meant to arrest the person driving that taxi. Instead of taking it all the way to Seattle, yes. Why? The driver was a chupacabra. Ugh, okay, let's get out of here, Dooley. Good luck, officer. Thanks, McQueen. A lot. You too, Officer Dooley. Bye, guy. Good luck with your rat problem or whatever. Bye, coffee wizard. Take care. Okay. I'm sure they were like cameos or something from one of the other games. It was quite something. Well, what do you know, Tasso? Looks like my good luck is back. I'm feeling like $1,000,000 now. I'm very glad you do. Thanks anyway, Tasso. I really did nothing much. Are you going to be okay? Okay enough to start thinking about what to do next. I'm done here for the night. You have a good evening, alright? Please keep me updated, officer, and stay safe. Will do. Alright then. Maybe I'll go check the stock again. Huh? Oh, Miss Renoa, welcome. Hello. How's the traffic out there? It's a mess. There's construction work taking place on Leonora Avenue. Oof, I can imagine the gridlock already. Fortunately, I have no deliveries to make today. That's great, I'm happy you're here. So, anything I can make for you this evening? I like something for my throat. I would appreciate a cup of tea infused with some lemon and a touch of honey. Lemon and honey. A cup of warm midsummer's night dream for you, miss. That's what we call it here. How whimsical. It's wonderful. Sweet but well balanced with the lemon, and the slight bitterness of the tea completes the taste. Thank you. You're very welcome. By the way, you just missed Officer Georgie by a few seconds. Is that so? How is he? He's been thinking about what you say quite a bit actually. Oh? He's currently dealing with plenty of clues he isn't used to. That's why he's hard at work at the moment. I see. Would you mind doing me a favor? Oh, what do you need? Could you give my contact information to him? We only connected via Bluetooth last time, so... Oh? Alright, that's for Georgie. What I said a few days ago may have been a bit overwhelming. It is possible that I spoke more than was necessary. All because I couldn't help but feel a pang of bitterness knowing what happened to the tree. That's entirely understandable though. But it's not my intention to interfere with his work. As such, if it requires any assistance, please, do let me know. It is the least I could do, as I realized there would be plenty of difficulty obtaining information. Oh, I mean, because Officer Georgie is a human, and we semi-physical beings have our own way of sharing information as such. I understand what you mean. Oh, okay. I just do not wish to incriminate anything or anyone. It's fine, I get it. I'm glad. I say you really help him out in more ways than one. Sorry, did you say something? I was zoning out a little. No, nothing. I'll pass this off to him. Okay, thank you. You're welcome. Bad traffic aside, how are you? To be honest, I've had a lot of my mind on late. And I think I don't know how to express it without sounding pathetic. You know I'm all ears. It may actually be a part of the problem, I am afraid. Pardon? You know, I've had conversations with more individuals over the past week than I have in the past few years. Is that a good or a bad thing? It's troubling. Oh, I'm sorry about that. Sorry about that? I don't mean it necessarily in a negative way. It's just, I used to believe that I had a settled life objective, but I have been doubting it lately. How come? I finally heard back from Miss Rachel yesterday. Oh, any good news? No. Our fields are admittedly quite different, so I was not expecting much. However, she provided me with some contacts who may be of assistance, even though they had no direct connection to the audience I am trying to reach. I see. She explained clearly why she thinks I should contact them, however, which I am thankful for. That's very thoughtful of her. So, what's the battle plan? And why are you doubting yourself? In essence, the advice is to slowly increase my network, to make myself known. Oh? Sounds familiar, doesn't it? You can probably guess my concern about it. I think so, but you could give me a refresher, just so I don't misunderstand. I feel like that would be a shortcut, so to speak. Right. She did, however, remind me of an important and humbling fact. What would that be? Well... Oh, but it's not guaranteed you get anything out of it, don't you think? Unless you're really sure the so-called shortcut is 100% gonna work. Because you have to do way more than just making a few calls and waiting for callbacks, you know? I say that's a decent impression of her. Thank you. After that, she told me a story about her early career experiences, both the good and the bad. Getting noticed is truly only the beginning. Then it is either a matter of letting your talent speak for you, or you go out there to develop connections with the right people. Even then, there's still no guarantee of success. After listening to her explanation, I respect Miss Rachel's determination. I can certainly see how it worked out for her. But then I was left wondering whether Mr. Lucas meant something similar during our first meeting. Right. I thought it all sounded familiar. Will you try a suggestion then? I don't know. Is it difficult? No more difficult than sending reels to every audition I've come across and being rejected by every single one. But for some reason, I feel conflicted about it. Speaking of Mr. Lucas, he and I have also continued our correspondence. Although, perhaps it was more like a necessity. Did something happen? He was stuck? Pardon? Actually, he posted about it on social media last night. Oh? I might have seen it. Did you? I came across it when I was updating my schedule and responded out of concern. Then he called me almost immediately. He was loud. All sounds in order, and extremely drunk. Really? He denied it at first, but it was too obvious not to notice. He told me he was walking aimlessly, deep in thought, and entered Kerry Park without realizing he had done so. Must have been some deep thinking he was doing, because I think it rained pretty hard last night. Well, I wouldn't know. The bus to and from there is currently not operating after 10 PM, which is why I sent him a message informing him of the fact, as he seemed to be unaware of it. Right. So he called me to ask if there was any other mode of public transit nearby. Wouldn't it have been easier for him to just call a cab? He told me he wanted to know the city better. At midnight? Why not? After all, you operate your business after dark yourself. Touché. Perhaps he just didn't want to go home yet. And I might be mistaken here, but I thought he doesn't like drinking. Wasn't it partying? Nevertheless, I think last night was quite different. It appears he had dinner with his team, and he needed the extra courage in order to negotiate with them about his proposed new direction. Oh, I see. I suppose it didn't go as expected. Perhaps. And I know that feeling all too well, miss. However, he said he will keep negotiating until they reach a compromise. That's good. Is it though? Miss Rachel told me about the hoops she had to jump through at the beginning of her career with her teammates as well. Likewise, Mr. Lucas has to work hard to obtain approval from his team for his actions. How can they still be so positive? What do you mean? I just cannot picture myself convincing others to give me a chance like that. I almost wanted to ask, why do we have to be at the mercy of others in order to succeed or fail? Can't talent speak for itself? But if I truly believe that, with the number of rejections I've received so far, I should have stopped a long time ago, shouldn't I? Right, that's why it doesn't work that way. What do you mean? To let talent speak for itself, we would all have to have the same standards. I see what you mean. Art would cease to be art if it was standardized, wouldn't it? However, doesn't that imply that everything still depends on the whims of the individual judging you at that moment? How does someone like Miss Rachel or Mr. Lucas manage to be fine with that? Perhaps they don't, because they don't see it as the be-all and end-all. What do you mean? Rather than viewing them as judges with the authority to determine their fates. Perhaps they simply see them as hills to either overcome or avoid, if that makes sense. Just a matter of perspective as to where the power lies. But it's not easy to climb those hills, especially if you've never done it before. Therefore, it's good to try and find out what works for you, or ask for guidance, or assistance even. Because one can't possibly know every single way to overcome obstacles, or be able to safely recognize warning signs without first learning them from others. Is that what you're trying to say? I see. Still. Miss Renoa? Yes. Sorry, I got a bit lost in my thoughts. You're fine, I promise. Speaking of Mr. Lucas, what happened to him after the call? I picked him up and drove him home. What? But I thought you located in Bevel? I can't pronounce that word, I'm sorry. I am. But I still had unfinished business in the downtown area. Moreover, he suddenly began saying quite loudly nearing the end of our call, which led me to conclude that it would be best for me to go and fetch him. I see. How was he singing, in your opinion? It wasn't too bad. If not for the fact that he was screwing most of the lyrics, that is. Well, his hoodie was soaked when I arrived, so he had to take it off before getting to my car. Thankfully, the water did not completely soak through to his shirt, so it remained relatively dry. However, I still laid on the seat covers as his fur got rather wet. Hope he didn't get sick then. Aside from all that, was he okay? Considering the situation you mentioned earlier, I mean. Well, he aptly asked me to do karaoke with him, which I declined. Probably for the best. Could have been entertaining though. I ended up taking him for a drive though, as I needed to take care of my unfinished business. A late night delivery? No, I was buying a pie. At midnight? Yes. Why, concerning me with a competitor? No, not at all. Maybe a little bit. Oh, Tasso, you will be fine. I sort of want to know, just so I can inform Officer Georgie about it. Oh, why? His daughter loves pies. When his car was vandalized, Officer Georgie had plans to buy pies for his family's get-together, but the report took a while and the weather was bad. And by the time he was able to get a taxi, he thought everything was already closed. I see. But he takes pride in being a Seattleite, so I wonder if he knows about it already. Well, it is a very small kiosk attached to a pub, very easy to miss. The spot is known as Disco Pie, It serves fresh pies until 1 a.m. Interesting. Good to know. Thanks. Getting back to the story though. You both went for pies then? Yes, and that seemed to fascinate him for some reason. What do you each get? He ordered a slice of warm apple crumble with a scoop of French vanilla ice cream on top. And a large cup of piping hot coffee with a little bit of milk. Ouch. I feel betrayed. Truly. Oh. But it was my suggestion since I thought he needed to warm up. Double ouch. I apologize. I'll live. A little piece of advice though. A glass of warm water might be better for the inebriated. Coffee is not the best at retaining fluids and thus preventing hangovers. Oh, that's really good information to know. This is why you're the best barista, Tasso. Thank you. Okay, my feelings are hurt slightly less now. And what do you get for yourself? I had a slice of hibiscus blueberry mint pie myself. And just so you know, I did not order anything to drink. Good. Drinks aside, what an interesting combination for a pie. How do you like it? I enjoyed it. You serve hibiscus here too, don't you? I'll remember to order it next time. Please do. And so we continued our conversation afterwards. That was when he told me he had not given up on his goal, despite the many disappointments within his team. He also told me why he does not drive at all. Really? Why? It is... On second thought, it may be better to hear the story directly from him another time. I apologize. No problem, I understand. We also discussed quite a few things we have in common. Really? Yes, surprisingly. And before we knew it, it was already nearing 5 a.m. Might have been the gripping conversation. I am not sure. However, his exhaustion seemed to finally catch up with him then. So I drove him home. Were you tired as well? No. I should go now. Alright, will you be okay? I have a lot to think about. Thank you for being patient with my concerns, Tasso. No problem at all. Anytime. Have a good evening then, Tasso. Come back again soon. Alright, I think we'll do a slightly longer stream, just do one more day and then we'll call it a stream. Alien sightings increase. Is this an invasion? At least it's pretty. Researcher responds over alleged algae invasion. Dwarfaria tech teams up with Gold Mix Industry to produce self-healing concrete technology. Hey, yeah. Oh, wait. Hello. Knock knock, anyone there? Mr. Bailey's, hi. I'm sorry, I didn't hear you come in. How are you tonight? I'm alright. But I look pretty distracted. Pending for your thoughts? You can have them for free. I'm just pondering the hidden side of things. How different the world is under the surface compared to what we think it is. Nothing and no one is exactly what they appear to be. Funny, I was having similar thoughts on my way here. I guess now that we spend so much time on social media, people believe you can be summed up in a picture or a sentence, but it's not like that. It's not that easy to know someone. Even if that someone is yourself. Especially if that someone is yourself. Sounds like we agree on this. We sure do. And it's been on my mind a lot the past few days. Does that have anything to do with your wedding to Miss Lua? Got it in one. How are things on that front? A few days ago, we decided to take some time apart to think. That sounds ominous. No, I don't mean it like that. It wasn't the breakup or even the break. Phew, we've been through so much. There's no walking back on our relationship now. But sometimes you're so together that you lose sight of the big picture, you know? I think I see what you mean. So we decided to give each other a bit of space and figure out what we really want out of our wedding. And more importantly, out of our marriage. I see. Have you made any progress on that front? Do you want the short version or the long version? I'm always here for the full story. Alright then, I'm gonna tell you everything. But I think I should order first. Oops. Sure thing. What can I make you tonight? I'm not feeling fussy. Anything warm would do. So anything really. Makes sense. What about some herbal tea then? Hibiscus? Butterfly pea? Butterfly pea or hibiscus sound great. With milk and honey, please. Wait, I need to get some water for myself. We do have hibiscus, no. Butterfly pea, milk, no. Milk and honey. Here you go. I hope you like it. Thanks, Tasso. This is so nice, and it brings me way back. You know how I'm not really in touch with my family anymore. Yes, I'm sorry about that. Don't be. I don't even miss them most of the time. In the end, they're just a random bunch of people, and we don't have very much in common. It's good that you learned that about yourself, Mr. Baileys. I think so too. There's just one person I miss, but I've been missing her a while now. Someone who passed away, I'm guessing? Exactly. Spot on again, Tasso. I used to have a very close relationship with my great aunt. When I was little, my parents fought all the time. Sorry. I still remember in my bones how that made me feel. The fear... excuse me. That one of them, or both of them, will walk away and abandon me. A bit ironic in hindsight, but then it was many years ago. Yes, it's quite normal for a little child to care about their parents, no matter who they are or how they behave. That's true. Anyway, I spent almost all my evenings curled up into a ball in my room, trying hard not to listen to all the shouting, except when my gran came to visit. Not that her being around prevented the fighting, mind you. Even high society is amazing at keeping up appearances, except in front of family. But she got how it made me feel. She went out of her way to take the sting out of it. She would keep me company and bring me a cup of herbal tea with milk and honey in it. Drinking this now with you, it feels a lot like family again. Sounds like she was a perceptive person. She truly was the best of them until she got sick. Oh no, how did it happen? I thought elves don't get sick. See, there's a part of elven disinformation. Elves don't get sick with your run-of-the-mill colds. With your little run-of-the-mill colds. But they do get big bad diseases like everyone else. And it's not uncommon for us to die from that. Except there's this assumption in our society that if you live the right sort of life, you'll pass away peacefully in your bed. So that's what families say most of the time when someone dies. Incidentally, that also means that they need to pretend everything is fine until the very last moment. So that's what they did to my aunt. They basically shut her in during her last few weeks. That sounds really awful. I did manage to visit her and she put on a brave face, but it was clear she wasn't happy. But then she wasn't very happy before that either. At least she had you. It must have been little consolation, but yes, I'm glad I was able to be with her. I think I came very close to being trapped with those people. I'm pretty sure she would have hated that for me. A little part of me hopes she'd be proud of me right now. I'm certain she would be. Thanks, Tasso. Here you are, listening to me blab on again. That's more than fine, but do you think growing up among conflict might explain why things are, well, a bit difficult to work out sometimes between you and Lua? I definitely think that's part of it. In fact... Hey, it's Silver! And Amanda! Good evening! Hi, Tasso. And hi, I don't think we've met before. I'm Silver. I'm Baileys, nice to meet you. And I'm guessing you're Amanda? We are, but you do not appear to be a hive. How did you? Lua told me she ran into you a week or so ago. Oh, the nice earthling we met on our first night here. There is a satisfactory explanation. And so, you are her date? I'm a little more than that. I'm her fiance. Truly, fiance is a successful outcome of dates with a 0.013p probability. Congratulations on an excellent odds actualization. Thank you. Now, cafe offering. We are wishing for a drink. Cafe offspring? How do you acquire that new title? Alright, sounds like something I shouldn't have thought too hard. Never mind me. You're about to order, Amanda? We were. And what we wish for is a memorable parting experience. Ah, I suspected something like that. Last visit in a while, huh? That is accurate. I take it you've completed your research on Earth? Almost. We are quite satisfied with the outcome of our missions. Interesting. That sounds like there's a story there. But first tell me, what sort of experience are you after? We wish to have something we never have had before. It's time to get creative then. Yes. Take care not to reuse any ingredient you have served us in the past. Oh god, I don't even remember why I served you before, Amanda. Don't put this pressure on me. Let me just... day are we on? We are on day 29. This is the first coffee talk game. Whoops. There you go. Hopefully this tastes new to you. It does. It is at least 56.941% different from anything else we have experienced. Yay, we did it. We are, as Earthlings would express, delighted. According to our calculations, this is our 39,846 new experience since arriving on Earth. That's quite a lot. Perhaps, however, most of them were rather insignificant in nature. Oh, what about this one? This one is the 99% in the 99th percentile of significance. Is that good or bad? She means it's very significant, right, Amanda? Very much so. We enjoyed this place and we will miss it. That's... don't mind me, getting a bit emotional here. Anyhow, I trust the agent gave you no more trouble. Ah, that one was quite close actually. We had a little brush with the authorities, you see. Yeah, Lua mentioned that. You made her really angry. She was still seething when she came home that night. Ah, please tell her that I'm grateful for that. Well, the agent kept looking into things even after his second visit here. But that's where your help really came in handy, Tasso. My help? Yes, the card that you got off the agent. We asked for help from an associate to write it through the mind you call a computer. Once the contents of the card had been unveiled, we analyzed the language of his communication, which is quite an interesting mix, if we may say so. It is roughly 60.0923% syntax and 39.9077% mathematics. We then led a polynomial time attack on his encryption, expressing the ciphertext as the point is, Amanda managed to get into the fire system. She obfuscated all mentions of any of us or safe beyond recognition, and some totally illegitimate orders came in. Send the agent to Europe on an urgent mission, which should last for more than long enough for him to forget about all of us. Whoop, that sounds incredible. It does sound thrilling. It was a very simple matter of applying hive knowledge. Be that as it may, that's great work, Amanda. We are pleased. Amanda is amazing. But let's not forget who got the card in the first place. You really helped us there, Tasso. Thank you. I'm very glad to hear that, and very relieved. Yes, we have thought on it for a while, and we have decided that we do not care for that sort of excitement. Not if it makes our siblings so sad. You've really got the hang of emotions now, haven't you, Amanda? Thank you, offspring. If that is the case, we are content. That means our mission is well and truly accomplished. Did you come here specifically to pick up Earthling emotions? No, we came here for the purposes of general Earthling research. But it appears to us now that emotions are one of its most interesting aspects. We'll be submitting we call it an academic paper, uncontrolled stimuli and reflective neural patterns, deep level communication in hive versus non-hive species. Wow, that's how you know it's serious research. I don't even understand the title. Amanda was always a brains in the family. That wasn't your only mission though, Amanda, right? If you're leaving, does that mean... Yes, Pro and I did go out on a date. Right, you're looking for love, aren't you? I am. I was. I think. I may have found it. Wait, wasn't the first date a really short time ago? Just a couple of days. But I've been waiting a while, and I really think this is it. When I took up this mission from the hive, when I came to Earth, and during this entire process when I change, what I was hoping was that someone would see me for who I am, and I really think she does. That's so great! But I'm curious, doesn't being in a hive provide the experience of feeling seen? It does and it does not. And in fact, we hope that is something our research might improve. The hive sees thoughts and desires honestly, but it's not able to communicate the reasons for those desires, the emotions, as it were. We do not dwell on those, nor will we start to do so in excess, but it seems to us now that they may be worth conveying, at least to some extent. Yes, what Amanda said is part of it. I was very unaware of my emotions when I first came to Earth, and I was really bad at communicating from them clearly to others. In some ways, I still am. It will always be harder for me to grasp them than for most people. But when I started to understand them, I was both fascinated and scared. Which is not an uncommon experience, I think. It's really not. It requires a good deal of courage to look at your emotions honestly. It certainly requires some time, and even more time to find someone who can look at them with you, not get scared and take them as they are. Someone who can see you clearly and kindly. It is a precious thing when that happens, huh? A rare and beautiful thing. Has that been your experience with Lua? It definitely has. I almost forgot how much it mattered too. I'm lucky that I have good friends who reminded me of that. So does that mean you and Lua found some answers? Oh, the heck with it. I can't hold my tongue any longer. I'm sorry to interrupt your goodbyes, you guys, but... Tasso, I'd like to officially invite you to a little surprise ceremony, which will take place 3 days hence. Wow, there's some answers indeed. Yeah. Taking a little time to think really cleared our heads. We had gotten bogged down in the details, and in our own insecurities, to be honest. So we decided to make it simple again. No fuss, no massive expense, nothing like that. Just us and our closest family members. Whether we got them at birth or choose them ourselves. I am very touched, Mr. Bayliss. Ah, come on, Tasso. You know you mean a lot to the two of us, as does this place. Speaking of which, I also have Hyde's invitation here. Oh, for a certain someone. Ooh. Well, Hyde and Gala's invitation, seeing how that's his obvious +1. Will you give it to them when you see them? It would be an honor. Silver and Amanda, I don't have a card for you, but you're in the cafe family as well, so I'm sure Lua won't mind. Would you like to join us for the party? A party? This is our first experience being invited to a party. It is 99.999% pleasant, and 0.001% disappointing that we have to refuse. Yes, I truly appreciate the offer, Bayliss, but sadly we are leaving Seattle tomorrow. Really? That's more sudden than I expected. Are you going back to space then, Amanda? Not yet, we are going on an adventure. That sounds very exciting. It really is. Amanda and I are taking a trip to the country, and maybe even a bit further if we've got time. We're basically going to be tourists. Touring is such a fascinating concept. Although our sibling explained it to us multiple times, we still find it very hard to comprehend. We always thought that traveling must have a mission, a purpose, but it seems that tourism is traveling with no other purpose than traveling, which is its excellent circular reasoning. It may well be, but it's still a lot of fun. In fact, I say that's the real purpose of tourism. To have fun, to relax, to see beautiful things, to enjoy life, you know. Enjoyment as a purpose. That's new to us, but we are 99.999% excited to try it out. And so am I. I've never been out of Seattle since I arrived. I guess I was afraid that I wouldn't be able to blend in, that I would have to restart everything from scratch. But knowing that you're here, Tasso, that I always have a place to return to where I feel home, well, that makes me a lot less nervous. I'm very happy to hear that. I think I should order a drink. Of course, what can I make you? I like it to reflect the spirit of our upcoming adventure. But I'm also in the mood for something sweet and soothing. So sweet and soothing, but with an adventurous kick? Yes, that's exactly right. Then about some hot chocolate with something extra to make it fun. Ah, I love that. Hot chocolate with some sweetness and some spice would be amazing. No, there's coffee, chocolate, sweetness, and spice. Here's a 299.792.4458 for Lightspeed Traveler. Oh, we like this name. It's evocative and adventurous. Evocative? Yes, is the speed of light not evocative of great adventures? The speed of light. Oh wow. Way to target your audience, Tasso. Thank you, but do you like the taste, Silver? I love it. This is exactly what I wanted. It's got the spicy kick of ginger to start with, which keeps you on your toes, but then the honey makes it sweet and comfortable. In fact, it reminds me of you, Amanda. How does taste remind you of us? I guess he's saying that you're sweet, but with a strong character as well. That's about right. We do not entirely comprehend it, and yet, we are pleased. Well, that's settled then. Whenever we miss Amanda Silver, you can come here and I'll make you this drink. I like that. Thank you, Tasso. Whoa, careful there. You don't want to spill a drink you enjoy this much. Ah, you're right. I'm just so excited. I can barely sit still. I can imagine a first trip across the country is a big deal. It is, but that's not the only reason I'm excited. Okay, that was quite a dramatic pause. I really want to know what you're going to say now. You guys seem to lead very interesting lives. Oh, not at all. I think I'm quite a boring person, with a secret society and an alien background. It's true that some of my life circumstances are a bit unusual, but this particular thing is very commonplace. Our sibling is excited because his date will be joining us. And in fact, we must be fair and acknowledge that we may have misjudged her based on her lack of facial symmetry. Although Pearl's features are 9.231% different from left to right, we agree with her movie analysis 99.999%. Wow, hold on. Amanda, you have met Pearl and you talk about movies? And now she's joining you two on a holiday? How did any of that happen? We watched Orc Westerns all together last night. Pearl likes them a lot as well. You don't exactly sound thrilled. Fortunately, she also likes space travel operas. Ha, I see. Learning couple compromises the hard way. I suppose so. Well, I'm glad to hear that she's met Amanda and they get along. Does that mean she also knows where you're from, Silver? She does. In fact, I told her about that on our first date. Wow, that's very brave. It's very hard to put yourself out there under any circumstances. To reveal something so vulnerable to someone you just met and are starting to like. It takes guts. You're very kind, but I don't think so. To be honest, I hadn't planned it that way, although I've always felt safe here with all the regulars. I know that not everyone would be open-minded about me, and so I wasn't sure I'd say anything to Pro that night, but as we were talking, I was so happy to learn more about her, about who she is, and I realized that I didn't want her to have an incomplete picture of me. My past is a part of me. If my goal is to find someone who sees me for who I am, then she needs to know about that too. And in the end, that was the right decision. Well, I would say that if she heard your story, and that changed how she viewed you, then she wouldn't have been worth your time anyway. That's fair. But still, even knowing that, I admire you a lot. The truth is, and this is a bit of a strange thing to say, but I think I'm proud of who I've become. And I want the people I love to be proud of me too. What is proud? Proud is, For yourself, I think it's when you start to be satisfied with what you're achieving. Especially if you have to fight to get there. And for others, it's when you think of someone you care about. Consider who they are and the way they're acting, and it just fills you with joy. Ah, we see. Then we are definitely proud of you. Hi. You two are really sweet family. And so are you and Miss Lua, Mr. Baileys. True, chosen families can also rock. Yes, when we met Pearl, we came to a conclusion. There is no difference in nature or expression between a family that you are born with and a family that you acquire by choice. Both demand work and understanding. There may be minute differences in the specific processes, but the bond appears to be 99.999% similar in the end. So it is. Well, we should probably get going. Yes, we must go pack! First time I see someone get excited about that specific part. What Amanda really means is that I must pack, while she analyzes the earthling ritual of folding shirts, rolling up socks, and so on. Precisely, this is further information for our research. We are thrilled. Good luck, Silver. Indeed. Do enjoy your trip, both of you. I hope you'll tell us all about it when you're back, Silver. I will. Good night to you too then. Hasta la vista, strangers! Huh? Oh, Westons. Ah, bye to you too. There's never a dull moment in your cafe, Tasso. I try. Speaking of which, would you like to hold some party or after party for your wedding here? I know it's not a very large space, but perhaps whether we like it? We love it. Honestly, I didn't want to impose, but there's no place that could be a better fit. And I don't mind that it's not very large. It's going to be a small, cozy wedding. So this is perfect. It's settled then. Lua's going to be over the moon when I tell her. In fact, I'm going to go and tell her now. That's a very exciting prospect. It really is. Thanks again, Tasso. You're like a guardian angel for us. And on that note, I'm off. Good night. More like a guardian hive mind. Good night, Mr. Baileys. Aw, that was such a cute... Alright, we'll call it a stream and finish up next week. Let's see what the news has for us first. The convenience driver crashes truck filled with catnip, suspected DUI. UFO previously spotted by Space Guard fighters. A very determined hot air balloon. ZXX20 virus vaccine booster ready for distribution. Alright, let's save. Alright. Wait, there we go. Yeah, I guess that'll be it for this stream. So that's very exciting. Oh god, my web captioner has... Alright, let's start again. Yeah, okay, my web captioner went really haywire. But I guess that's how it is. Anyway... There we go. But yeah, anyway, that'll be it for this stream. Next week, I believe, should be the last stream that we'll do for this game. Also, my web captioner has totally fucked up. Fresh. There we go. Hopefully it's working now. Da 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 da. Doot. Nope. Okay. Oh, there we go. Now it's working. But yeah, as I was saying, so yeah, this is actually a really cool stream. Like, you get to see a lot of things. Silver and Amanda are always a treat, and Hyde and Gala. I don't know. This game really does like a good job, like, you know, just writing the relationships between all the characters and how they interact. And it's always such a delight to watch them. And, you know, just experience the story and their lives. I don't know, there's always something very cozy about this game that I really love. And yeah, just really glad again, just really happy that I'm playing through this, that, you know, that is a thing. So yeah. Anyway, I will save my gushing for this game when I actually finish it, which should be next week. So feel free to have a reminder for that if you're interested. But until then, thank you everyone for tuning to the stream. Hope you guys enjoy it. Thank you to the VOD viewers who watch this as well. Hope you guys enjoy it too. And yeah, again, we'll be back next week for what should be the ending of this game, which will be very exciting. Very interested to see. I mean, it'd be cool to see, you get to see like the wedding stuff happening as well, like Lua and Bailey. So that's really cute. But yeah, really looking forward to that, and always looking forward to playing this game again next week. But until then, all of you stay safe, wash your hands, all that fun stuff, and I will see you then. Okay, goodbye.
you.